Have you ever considered that the world's most published book might also be its most misunderstood financial guide? For centuries, we've been told the Bible is a book about piety and poverty, a manual for the meek inheriting the earth, whatever that means. But what if its parables and psalms weren't just spiritual allegories, but a coded blueprint for generating outrageous, unapologetic cash? It's a mind-bending idea, especially if you've been trying so hard to be good, while your bank account sends you panicked notifications. You know that frustrating split all too well, the feeling that to be spiritual, you must somehow renounce the material. You've prayed for abundance, only to immediately feel a pang of guilt for wanting it, as if desiring a beautiful life makes you less holy. This internal tug-of-war is a comedy of errors that has kept so many brilliant souls, maybe you included, in a state of almost perpetually believing that the real secrets to prosperity are locked away, reserved only for a chosen few. Well, today, we are blowing the doors right off that vault. In our time together, we are going to decode this secret manual through the eyes of two revolutionary thinkers who saw the truth: the mystic visionary Neville Goddard and the dazzling Reverend Ike. We are going to unite Neville's profound teachings on living from the end, the quiet internal world of feeling your wish fulfilled, with Reverend Ike's bold, liberating philosophy that money is simply God in action, a divine energy that you are meant to command, circulate, and enjoy without a shred of apology. This is not just another lecture on manifestation or surface-level positive thinking. This is a deep dive into creating a unified field of prosperity consciousness. You're about to discover that your spiritual devotion and your desire for cash are not enemies. In fact, they are two sides of the same golden coin. You will learn that generating wealth isn't a separate, worldly task you have to suffer through. It is a deeply spiritual act of claiming the abundance that is already yours by divine right, by learning how to live in the glorious feeling of it right here and right now. So how do we master this glorious feeling? And more importantly, why does it feel so impossibly difficult sometimes? The answer lies in understanding what your imagination actually is. Most of us treat our imagination like a haunted house we are forced to live in. It's dark, it's full of scary noises from the past, and shadowy figures of future worries pop out and yell, "Boo," every time we try to relax. We wander its halls, tormented by mental reruns of bills we can't pay and opportunities we've missed. This is the heart of the problem. You are, whether you know it or not, constantly living in the end, but it's the end of the story you don't want. Let's reframe this with a metaphor that's a bit more delicious. Your imagination is a magnificent 24-hour cosmic diner. You are the only customer, and also the person shouting the orders back to the kitchen. The universe, the short order cook with an infinite supply of ingredients, is standing by, ready to make literally anything you ask for. The problem is, you're a terrible customer. You shout, "I'll have the $1 million bank account platter with a side of debt-free bliss." The cook says, "Coming right up," and starts sizzling away. But 2 seconds later, you're leaning over the counter whispering, "On second thought, I don't know how I'll pay for that. And what if it gives me indigestion? And my uncle tried that once, and he failed. Just bring me the usual scrambled eggs of anxiety and a cold cup of not enough coffee." The cosmic cook just shrugs and serves you exactly what you settled for. This is where Reverend Ike would bang his fist on the counter and say, "See, that divine energy in the kitchen is God in action." Every ingredient, every sizzle, every potential dish is pure creative power. You have the power to order a feast, but you keep using that divine authority to ask for scraps because you're more convinced of your inability to receive the feast. You are using the power of God to affirm your own lack. If this idea of you being the one placing the orders in your own cosmic diner is making sense, do me a small favor and tap the like button and subscribe so we can keep cooking up these truths together. The secret taught by the great mystics is to become a decisive customer. You must place your order for wealth, for health, for joy, and then walk away from the counter. You don't pester the cook. You don't worry about how he's making it. You simply go sit down at your favorite booth, look out the window, and start feeling the satisfaction of someone who knows a spectacular meal is on its way. That feeling, that quiet confidence, is the prayer that is always answered. That is living in the end. Now, that's all well and good while you're sitting there in your imaginary booth, sipping your imaginary soda, feeling all satisfied and serene. But the bell on the diner door is about to jingle. You have to get up and walk back out into the world. And this, my friends, is where the real performance begins. This is where you put some skin on that feeling. You cannot cultivate a millionaire's mind in the quiet of your imagination and then walk out the door with the posture of a pauper. It just won't do. The universe is not confused, you are. You've got to stop walking into rooms as if you're apologizing for taking up air. You know the walk. The shoulders are slumped, the eyes are glued to the floor, the whole body is folded in on itself like a cheap suit. That is the uniform of not enough. You are wearing your bank balance on your back. From this day forward, you walk in with your head up and your shoulders back, like you own the building and are just stopping by to check on your investment. You don't have to say a word. Your presence, your glorious self-image, announces that you have arrived. This isn't about being loud or obnoxious. It's about dignity. It's about congruence. When you look at a menu, you don't scan the right side for the prices before you look at the left side for the entrees. You decide what you want, and you assume the means to have it will be there. That is faith in action. That is commanding the God power within you. You have to stop identifying with poverty. It's a tacky, outdated fashion, and it simply does not look good on you. You have to stop whispering. When someone asks how you are, you don't say, "Oh, getting by." Getting by? Honey, the sun doesn't get by. The ocean doesn't get by. They are. You are. So, you look them in the eye and you say, "I am absolutely wonderful." This is the embodiment of your spiritual wealth. You are dressing the part of the person who has already received their magnificent order from the cosmic kitchen. Tell me in the comments, what is one little poverty posture you are ready to drop today? Is it the price tag peak? The apologetic walk? Let's call it out and laugh it right out of our lives. You must act as if you are already the wealthy, successful, joyous person you desire to be. Not because you are faking it, but because in the only reality that matters, the reality of your imagination, you already are. Your body is simply catching up to the memo your soul already sent. But let's be honest for a moment. This is where the rubber meets the road. And for most people, it's where the wheels fly right off the car. You have a glorious 5-minute session in your imaginary booth. You feel the leather seats, you taste the victory. You walk out of that cosmic diner feeling like a titan of industry. You hold your head high, you order your coffee without flinching, and then you get a little itch, a little whisper of doubt. So you pull out your phone. You open the banking app, and there it is, the same sad little number, staring back at you like a disappointed parent. Gotcha. Suddenly, that millionaire posture deflates. The feeling of abundance evaporates, replaced by the cold, hard slap of current circumstances. This is the critical juncture. This is the test. And this is where the silly, panicked human stuff begins. You start checking the app every 10 minutes, as if aggressively refreshing the screen is the secret technique for adding a few zeros. You scour your email for a notification that hasn't arrived. A friend cancels lunch, and you think, "See, it's not working. I can't even afford to go out anyway." This, right here, is the great filter. It's the point where you must practice what the mystics call persistence and the absolute necessity of denying the senses. Your 5 senses are professional tattletales. They are historians, not prophets. They love to run to you with old news, breathlessly reporting on the harvest of your former thoughts and feelings. They show you the world you created yesterday, and you mistakenly believe it is the world you are creating now. You must learn to pat your senses on the head, say, "Thank you for sharing," and then calmly turn your attention back to the truth within you. Reverend Ike had no time for this. He would call it giving your attention to the ghetto. When you stare at the bank balance that you don't like, you are mentally and emotionally choosing to live in the ghetto of lack. Why would you furnish and decorate a reality you want to leave? You must turn away. You have planted a seed, the seed of your fulfilled desire, in the fertile ground of your consciousness. The time between planting that seed and seeing the sprout break through the soil is not a sign of failure. It is the sacred period of germination. Do not be the anxious gardener who digs up the seed every morning to see if it's growing. You will kill it with your impatience and your doubt. Your job is not to worry about the how or the when. Your job is to keep the soil of your mind watered with faith and warm with the sunlight of your happy assumption. This gap in time is the universe's way of asking you, are you sure? Do you really believe you are this new person? Your persistence in feeling and acting from the end is your resounding yes. So how do you stand firm when the world is screaming that you are broke? You need a secret weapon, a daily drill that makes your inner reality more solid and compelling than any external report. Think of it this way. Neville handed you the secret map, showing you how to navigate your own consciousness to the treasure. Reverend Ike filled up your tank with high-octane spiritual fuel, giving you the divine horsepower to get there. Now, it's time to get in the car and drive. Let's call this exercise the reality rehearsal. It's your sacred appointment with wealth, and it only takes a few minutes. First, find a quiet space where you can be undisturbed. Close your eyes. I don't want you to visualize stacks of cash or a number on a screen. That's too cold. I want you to feel the result of the money. What is the dominant feeling you are seeking? Is it the deep, calming peace of total security? Is it the exhilarating freedom to be generous with your family and friends? Is it the sheer joy of buying something beautiful without a moment's hesitation? Choose that feeling. Now, breathe it in. Feel that specific relief, that specific joy. Saturate every cell of your body. Dwell in that feeling as if it is the only reality. This is your Neville work. After a minute or two, open your eyes. Here is the pivot. Do not let that feeling escape. This is your Reverend Ike moment. Stand up. Let that feeling of security straighten your spine. Let that feeling of freedom lift your chin. Walk into the next room carrying that feeling as your new center of gravity. This isn't faking it. This is embodying the truth you just established. You are allowing the God in action energy to express itself through your physical form. Now, a critical warning. You have just planted a powerful seed in your subconscious mind. Do not commit what one of these mystics called a mental abortion by running to your senses for confirmation. Don't check the bank account. Don't look for the email. You will kill your creation with doubt. Your job is to protect that new feeling, to maintain your mental diet, and to walk as the person who knows their magnificent order is already on its way from the cosmic kitchen. So we have come to the end of our time together, but to the glorious beginning of your personal reign. We have decoded the manual. We have placed our order in the cosmic diner. We have rehearsed our new reality. The final, earth-shattering secret of the Bible is this. There is no one else to ask. There is no external power to beg or bargain with. You are the operant power. The entire creative force of the universe, the very God in action that Reverend Ike preached about, is dormant within you, waiting for your command, for your feeling, for your assumption. You are the one who gives the order, and you are the one who feels it into glorious existence. Let your new and permanent prayer be this powerful, unapologetic statement. I am the living word, and my every assumption of wealth is made flesh. To continue mastering this unified field of prosperity with the teachings of Neville Goddard and Reverend Ike, and to make this power your permanent state of being, make sure you subscribe right now. It's time to stop reading about miracles and start living as the one who performs them. It's time to stop asking for permission to be rich. Now go forth and sin no more by staying poor. I am Wealth Mindset.